I'm freaking out. Like, I'm like, how do you pee through this hole in a public bathroom without getting it on your hands or getting it on the cocktail dress to wear tonight? Calm Down with Erin and Charissa is a production of iHeart Radio. Hey guys, so Calm Down week 1 of the NFL season is in the books. We keep it real here. So full disclosure, as we normally do, we recorded an episode on Monday afternoon right before the Jets-Bills game. And then our guy, Aaron Rodgers, got hurt. First of all, I'm recording this right before we now are releasing this podcast on Wednesday. Our girl, Charissa, is getting ready for her Thursday night Amazon game. So make sure you tune in for that. Can't wait to see her man that desk. But because we recorded our original Calm Down episode right before the Jets-Bills game, we obviously got into my sit down with Aaron. We got into our excitement for the season. And we just felt like it would be better for me to come on here and kind of tighten this all up, take some of it out. But as you guys know, I have a great relationship with Aaron. We've been friends forever. And I feel awful for him. The whole situation just absolutely sucks. I have not spoken to him. I've reached out to him several times. Obviously thinking of him, and it's crazy if you want perspective from our world in terms of being a friend with somebody like that. It's just, everything that he put into it, the excitement that he had. He had said to me in that sit-down interview that aired on Fox on Sunday that he just felt so alive. So as a friend, I am completely devastated for him, hoping to, once this all settles, which it won't, it'll take forever to do so, hoping to touch base with him and check in on him, and I'll definitely let everybody know how he's doing. But also in our world, in the NFL, it was crazy. All of us, including Chris, I was actually with Chris on Monday night. We had a little bit of a party to watch Aaron and take on the Bills. And we were kind of saying the other day, it just, all of us have been in a fog. I mean, there's so much excitement in the league about him going to the Jets, what was going to happen in the AFC, what was going to happen in the league. So many of our broadcast schedules were around, the New York Jets. We were expected to have them week 6. Looking forward to seeing him again. So it stinks. I don't care what you think of this guy. I mean, it was so good for football to have him go to a new team, to have the excitement back with the Jets. And yeah, all of us that work with him and work in the industry, we're bummed. You would hate for this to happen to anyone. But it sucks. It really, really does. So obviously we are wishing him nothing but the best and an easy recovery. And it'll be a topic all season long for us. All right. So here's a portion of what we recorded on Monday. Of course, it's going to include highlights like me sprinting to catch my flight in Chicago after the Packers-Bears game. Charissa, she has some new teammates. Well, she has one new teammate, Julian Edelman, what it was like for her having Gronk and Jules in the studio. And here's a doozy. Howie Long, he has a burner social media account. Holy cow. That's a surprising headline for all of us. All right. So guess who can't speak on this Wednesday? There's still a lot to cover, so let's get to it.
Hey, girl.
Hey, girl.
Wow.
Overreaction Monday.
I'm on a real rant. We just started recording because I was going on a whole tangent about everyone and their week 1 reactions. It is Calm Down. We have been off for the last week to the cutie in Chicago who pointed that out to Erin. Please tell the story. You mentioned it on the pregame, but reinsert the story here because it makes sense.
I was getting ready to walk out onto the field. Those last 5 minutes in that Bears-Packers game kind of took forever, which is why I was dashing through the snow, literally at O'Hare, trying to get to my flight last night. That's another story. So minutes are, ticking, or seconds are ticking away. I'm trying to rehearse my Jordan Love interview. There's so many things I want to ask him. And then as I'm getting ready to talk to Packers PR, this guy from the Chains crew goes, "Hey, Erin, yeah, no new podcast this week. What happened to Calm Down?" And I go, "What?"
Adorable.
And I looked over at Packers PR and I said, "See, this is the real stuff people want to know about,
Adorable. I absolutely love when people do that. Or like the signs, the calm down signs. It makes me very happy.
Very sweet.
So it is. We had a week off last week because everyone was traveling, doing things, getting ready for the season. But we are back. Week 1 in the NFL in the books. Started with Kansas City losing to Detroit. So, Joe Burrow lost yesterday. Everyone's losing their mind. Hey, newsflash, everyone. Joe Burrow also lost week 1 of last year. Everyone relax. Rams had a nice showing. Congratulations, Matthew Stafford.
Hey,
and with the Rams, everyone was, saying their 2 cents about this team. They went into Seattle. Also, half the time, I didn't even know if Kevin Kugler and Mark Sanchez were throwing to me to do an in-game update because the 12s are in full force. Couldn't hear the background there, but Rams had a nice win. That Dolphins-Chargers game was a great game.
See, I missed all of this.
And by the way, Tyreek Hill had 215 yards. I don't know. Let's use basketball terms. Does anybody want to double team, triple team? Like, just literally throw all of your DBs on Tyreek Hill and hope for the best with any of the other receivers. How the F do you let Tyreek Hill get 215 yards? And Tua had like over 450 yards. It was really exciting, and I was happy for them. But my headline here is not how you start, it's how you finish. Everyone wants to freak out week 1 of like, the sky is falling. It is week 1. It is a long season. So anyone that lost yesterday could end up having, home field advantage in the playoffs. Somebody that won yesterday could, go sub 500. So I think like just watching even like the pre-games and stuff this morning or the morning shows, I was like, relax. And dare I say, calm down. It's week 1.
Down.
You had a good one too. A lot of storylines, of course, in the post Aaron Rodgers, Jordan Love era began. So what was it like to be back? What was it like? Obviously you did a pregame, but what was it like in Chicago?
Yeah, I got to tell you a couple of stories. So I learned from watching The Quarterback this year, the one with Patrick Mahomes
on Netflix.
Yep, and Kirk Cousins and Marcus Mariota. There was a part in the Super Bowl that we were covering. Patrick Mahomes obviously went into the locker room with his injury, and it was like, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? So I was standing on the other side, not in the tunnel, waiting to see him run out. It's all I worried about. That was going to be my hit, like what he looked like when he ran out. But you know what I learned from watching that quarterback show was that I should have been in the friggin' tunnel as soon as he walked out of his locker room. I could have made eye contact with him. I could have like interacted with him. Like yesterday, Aaron Jones gets hurt and I look at him and he goes, I'm good. I'm good. That's my report. They volunteer that information.
Yep.
So I watched Patrick Mahomes in that show like everybody did with that access. And I was like, damn it. I should have been right there. I should have been there, not across. So I learned my lesson. So you know what I did yesterday? I walked inside that Packers tunnel right before pregame. And I stood right where they come out, not where like the cameras can see them, but the part where the cameras don't get them. And I watched Jordan Love walk out for the very first time. And as I watched him, he took this huge breath and he let it out, and my whole body got chills. It was fucking awesome.
And that was your pregame hit.
That was my hit.
It was perfect.
Had been
because
waiting.
that's what you want.
Yeah.
That's what you want, the access. You're giving fans access to something that they don't have. You're describing things. When people have said shit before of like, why do you need a sideline reporter? I'll tell you why you need a sideline reporter. That's why you need a sideline reporter. Because you are getting to places or the relationships with the players that not everyone has.
So full, like, I don't even know what I'm trying to say. I've had 2 hours of sleep. I did clear this with my husband. I said, are you okay if I talk about this on Calm Down? He said, yeah, just don't bring me or Mac into it. These skims are amazing. This Kim Kardashian, she knows what she's doing. I mean, it pulls you, it tightens you. You fit in this dress for television, for awards, whatever
she knows what
she's
does. Doing.
That girl knows what she's doing. Okay. The problem is, when it's time, when you get hey, we're going to start rolling in 30 minutes, so everybody make sure whatever you need to do. Well, I needed to go potty. I needed to use the restroom. I needed to pee. I can't take this off because it's a long sleeve. I got this thing. So Jillian's like, you're just going to have to figure it out. There's a hole.
Don't hold it.
There's a hole. No, I couldn't hold it. I had to go. There's a hole in the Skims. Carissa?
No. There's a run in my pantyhose.
To have Kim Kardashian tell me how she does this. I don't know how women at these award shows, it's not going everywhere. I just don't want it on the Skims because you know why? Then I'm pulling the dress down. You're sitting in the dress and you got a pee stain. But I didn't have that, but I'm freaking out. Like, I'm like, how do you pee through this hole in a public bathroom without getting it on your hands or getting it on the cocktail dress to wear tonight?
Can I ask
an art
another
form.
question?
She must not drink water. She must not drink at all when she's in these outfits.
Okay, well, me, who has a health condition of the UTI sort where I cannot hold my pee anymore because it induces medical issues for me.
No, you can't.
So the second I have to go to the bathroom, your gal has to go. Because warning out there, all you young ladies like me, or the years on the sideline where I held my pee way too long, it ends up coming back to haunt you. So when you have to go to the bathroom,
yesterday,
go to the bathroom. So
I know.
In this particular case, the question I have about the actual garment itself.
Yeah.
So there's a hole in it, but like,
so
are you
can
pulling
go potty.
the whole, I know, but like, are you pulling the
I
whole
don't know.
wider?
I don't have the directions on this. So I'm asking Jillian, she goes, it's just an art form. You have to figure it out. I didn't know how to do. I mean, I am like, all right, well,
here's the question
out.
For the group. Anyone out there who knows how to execute the hole in the skims where it's not going down your leg, it's not getting on the garment, it's not getting on the dress, please let us know. Because now I'm curious about the whole contraption. Also curious how this thing works.
All these women wear them on red carpets to events. Like, I'm just so confused how you get it done. Anywho, that Kim K knows what she's doing. That thing's unreal. It's hard to get on, hard to get off, but wow. Tightened up.
There's the headline. That Kim K knows what she's doing.
Wow.
All right. So busy week for us because it is week 1. I leave tomorrow, which is going to be a Tuesday this week for my Thursday night game. Excited to be back with that group. And we've got a good one. Although, unfortunately, for Minnesota, they're going to be coming off a loss. The Eagles almost lost after starting off very strong. I thought that was going to be a runaway train. Train, are they still performing? Anywho,
Hey. Hey.
You should be on Name That Tune. You're very good about being able to. I
think so too.
Okay. Where are we? So I'm traveling now. What do you have going on this week? Are we playing catch up at home? I know that it's been a priority for you, and we talked about it a little bit on the pregame. Like, Sweet Steve, and I'll just back this up and then open up the question again. Sweet Steve, when I came home yesterday, was like, it's football season. I'm going to make you dinner when you come home on Sunday, like a little cutie that he is. I have to show you. I don't have it on my phone, but I'll put it on the Calm Down podcasting. This also happens when you're newly dating someone. Like the sweetest things.
Dating. Why are we whispering? You've been dating for like over a year.
Yeah, that's true. I have been dating for over a year, but like it's still a new relationship. This guy, when I was studying on Saturday night, goes, "Can I interrupt you for a second?" I go, "Actually, now's not a good time." What a dick I am. Because he then goes, "It'll only take a second." He holds up, he'd made a menu that said, appetizer this, main course this, dessert this, and it was all for me on Saturday night while I was studying that he was going to take care of me, and it had my address, which I won't say, the street, it's a name, restaurant. He like made this menu for me. I go, "You're the cutest thing in the world." So then when I came home yesterday, he was like, "Well, tonight at the blank resort, we're offering this, and this," and then made me dinner. I said, "I can't handle you." So I
love him so much.
I know, he really is a dream. So he's totally understanding, like, now football season round 2, like what it entails for me, that I'm crazy, which is why I'm not being as nagging, because he's really making the effort. I'd asked him to
somebody needs to take that into account over here.
List, and instead of me nagging and saying, "Why is this goddamn fence not painted? I've been asking you for months to paint the fence." I schlepped out to the fence before this podcast. I'm out there painting the fence, and he was like, "I would have done that." And I was like, "It's no problem. I'll do it." What I wanted to say was, the fence has been needed to be painted for 3 months, but you haven't done it.
Yeah, call me and tell me.
So I won't. I know. I didn't. So you'd be proud of me. So I'm going to work on, not being a biatch during the football season and really appreciating the help that is being offered at the residence that I live in.
The thing I'm struggling with is this, and everybody's kind of wondered if the mommy guilt would hit, and it did hit this week, just because I went to Colorado, I went to Dallas, I went to New Orleans, I went to New York. Now I was in, where the hell was I yesterday? Oh, Chicago.
Chicago.
And so, I was getting videos from Jared of Mac and all that. And I was like,
Yeah.
God, I feel bad. Like I'm missing, like he was laughing, he was talking, he was being cute. And I was like, I'm a jerk. And then I checked in with Jared later that night and I was like, what are you doing? And he's like, oh, I'm at dinner. And I read him the riot act for being out to dinner. I'm like, you're out to dinner and I'm putting myself through hell for working and like really like, and I got off the phone and I was like, I just did that because I feel so bad.
Bad.
The baby's already in bed. Like there was nothing else for him to do. He went out to dinner with his friends and he was like, but this is why we decided to get someone to live with us and do this. And I called him and I was just like, I'm sorry. I took it out on you. So yes, I need to work on.
Good girl, though. I feel like you wouldn't have apologized that quickly.
Guilt. Yeah. I am because I'm like, I feel like I'm missing things. Although my friends are like, who have gone through this before, they're like, you're fine. You're not missing much. Like go for your weekend and like, you know. So
this is what
I need to not take it out on him.
Okay. So this is what I would say. And you didn't ask for my advice, but since we're talking about all things, I don't remember what I did at 2 months old. I don't remember laughing. I don't remember what I did at 2 years old. What he will remember is that he's got a badass mom who's working hard. He will know that you are doing all these things to make sure that he can go to the little league practice, go to the this, go to the whatever. It's easy or said than done. I don't have a child, right? But like, I do feel guilty sometimes. Like if I'm like, it's not the same. They're dogs.
They're the dogs, 100%.
Yeah, like if I have to board them for an extended period of time, I'm like, I'm the worst. Like these are my dogs. But I'm boarding them because I'm either recharging my own battery so I can be a better mother, or I'm working to pay for them to take hikes in Malibu. Okay, so it's like, I look at them and I'm like, you guys are so lucky. And look at them. They don't look like they're too sad over here as they follow me around and want to be with me all the time. Mac loves you and he will look back and know that you are a great mother, not that you were out, gallivanting around town.
And
as for Jared, he will know how you talk to him, and that's very good. And I think that's a very mature thing to say, I'm sorry. Yeah. Saying I'm sorry in a relationship is like step number 1 to recovery. Like just being like, I'm sorry. Like I was a dick. Like goes a long way, at least for me. Acknowledgement.
I was with a very successful entrepreneur / businessman. It's
a hard word to say, entrepreneur.
Sure is.
You did a great job.
Thank you. And I was asking him his biggest piece of advice with all of his success that he's had. And he said, I'm the first one to say I'm sorry when it's needed. I love that. So in your relationships and in business. I'm not sorry. Yeah. No, I am.
Not sorry.
Hey, so yesterday, our game, it didn't run late. It took a long time, I think, for those last 5 minutes. And then there was a ton of traffic in Chicago. I was texting you and Ryan about like they're boarding now and we are 20 minutes out. Like, I don't know if we're going to make this. This is the story of my life.
She's sending like the screenshot of like how long it is going to take to get to the airport. I was like, oh no, girl, I feel you. This is going to be a rough one.
It was the last flight out. I hadn't peed in 6 to 7 hours. Exactly what we were talking about. Didn't matter if there was a hole in my Skims. I wasn't going to be able to use it anyways. I was fully sunburned. My hair has turned orange because of the sun. I'm in a like just thick like vest and pants. I am just gross. I smell like an offensive lineman. And I'm sitting here checking other flights. I'm checking the ways. I'm like, we got 2 minutes till the jam clears up. Get through security in front of my
meteorologist, traffic reporter, that report yesterday, and mother.
Yeah,
by the way, Joel said to me, he goes, how about Kevin Burkhardt saying meteorologist and mother? She does it all. I love that man. He's so adorable.
He's the best. Also, side note, Greg dressed up at dinner this week because he goes, well, I made the podcast. I had to bring a change of clothes.
Speaking, that's a nice segue. And then finish this because I always cut your stories off.
No,
so
you
made your flight.
Running.
Yeah.
I don't even remember what I was saying, but yeah, just reeked. I hadn't peed. I hadn't had any water. I sit down. They offer me 1 glass of wine. I'm wasted. I'm kidding. Yeah. It was just a mess. I was just a mess.
I always get mad though when I sit down and there's you're sprinting to get to the thing and you make it and you're like, oh, phew, I have enough time. But then you get on the plane and you're sitting there forever and everyone around you, since they've already been in boarding area 1 and gotten on the flight when they were supposed to, they all have a drink. And I'm like, hey, can I have, no, now we have to wait. Now we have to wait until we're 45 minutes into the flight and all your gal wants is like when she sits down.
I was
at least
so
you got
pissed. We
offered.
ran so fast and I hadn't eaten all day. And I took a picture and I sent it to you guys. Goonies never say die or whatever the whole thing is. And I could have gotten some McNuggets at the McDonald's next door.
Oh.
I mean, there was enough time. They were still boarding group 6. And I was like, well, geez, I could have gotten a 6-piece.
Not to be confused. Did you ever see that? I don't know why I always reference this commercial. McDonald's had this commercial. It was like an R&B, like whole setup, and the singer goes, "Girl, you got a 10-piece, don't be stingy." It is so funny. I caught you creeping at night. Girl, you got a 10-piece, don't be stingy. It's so funny. I mean, it's not funny, but it's like about like he thinks the girl is like cheating on him, and she's like out in the middle of the night, and she comes back with a McDonald's thing of McNuggets, and then he said, "Girl, you got a 10-piece, don't be stingy." I'll send it. I'll show you tonight. Hey, side note before we get off. You were
talking about Greg.
Greg, are you a homeowner, Greg? How's your portfolio? Strong to quite strong? Okay, meet the parents. Speaking of parents, I love my parents. Oh, Steve Andrews sent me a text yesterday. The show, I'm obsessed. I love your parents so much. Oh, yeah. We have our own text going on, Steve and
what did he say?
Yeah. It was about the show and the little cute he was watching, and he had comments, and I said, "You're just the best." I know.
Oh, my God. How are Gronk and Julian?
Well, I mean, let's save the last dance. Let's save the best for last. These two maniacs, okay, are unbelievable.
Yeah.
We already know this. You've vacationed with this get along gang before.
Crazy.
They are, and again, I know not everyone listening to this has met Gronk or Julian Edelman, but imagine the person that you like see on television or your favorite athlete or whoever, not even your favorite, just an athlete you see, and you're like, are they really like that in person?
Yes.
They're exactly like that.
Yes.
And then some. Like yesterday, like reenacting the Lombardi and the baseball. So like there was like the whole thing, the whole story, which I won't get into all of it, but Gronk dented the Lombardi because he hit Julian threw him a baseball. Julian didn't think that Gronk was actually going to use the real Lombardi, be like a batter in the batting box. He did. It dented the Lombardi. It's in the Patriots Hall of Fame still with the dent.
So cool.
On the trophy. Anyway, so they reenacted that yesterday, and it's just, they're so funny. They're so fun, and I cannot wait. And I was like, Gronk, are you going to be with us all year? He's going to be there like 13 weeks. But it's just a reminder that like these guys won 3 rings together. They played together for 9 years. And it's a reminder that you can win at the highest level. You can be dominant at the highest level, and you can have fun doing it while still falling underneath the Belichickian, like, do your job thing.
Yeah, while having him as a head coach.
Correct. So this whole thing of like, oh, you've got to, do things a certain way. Yes, there's, of course, is always a recipe for success, but it takes on a lot of different identities. And when I looked at those two together yesterday, I was like, what an awesome scrapbook of life that you were able to have success at that level together, but then also do it with like your best friends.
Yeah.
And it's just so cool.
They're the best.
And then Brady called Julian, I guess, after the show, and Julian walked outside to take the call, and he set the fire alarm off. He walked out the wrong door. The alarm's going off in the whole building. Yeah.
The get along gang.
Yeah, exactly. And I'll let Julian and Gronk tell you the messaging that Gronk said to them. It's not my place, that Brady said to them. It's not my place to say that message, but it was funny.
Like you said,
our boss goes, Brad goes, ask Gronk or Jules what just happened with the fire alarm, because I wasn't there. I was still in the studio, so we didn't hear it.
Uh-huh.
And I go, what? Set off the fire alarm. What does he say? Oh, Howie Long.
Yeah, what did he say?
Ryan's keeping us on task. So we go to dinner on that Friday night before this past Friday.
Love.
Sweet Howie Long.
Angel.
Dreamboat that he is. Just like, I brought it up because of fathers. How we love having like 4 fathers. Our four fathers. 470. Our 4 fathers. He goes, you and Erin, that podcast. I go, oh God, what did we do now? And I go, what, did we do something wrong? He goes, no, I just got to make sure that I'm monitoring what you guys are doing.
Well, he's not going to like my Skims content, but it's real life stuff that women all understand and people need to talk about.
And he goes, I make sure that I keep an eye on you two and Chris Long. So he watches the podcast clips, on social, and he's got a fake handle so no one knows it's him. And
Howard?
I won't even tell you what it is because then I'll out him for it. He has a fake handle, a Finsta account, so he can monitor what we're doing and what Chris Long is doing. And I said, Howie, if I couldn't love you anymore, then I already do. I do now because you are adorable. He goes, I just got to make sure.
Howie, don't get mad at me about my Skims learning how to go potty with it on because I cleared it with Constance Schwartz Marini, send all thoughts and concerns to her, and Jarrett Lee Stoll. You know? I just think it's like something women have a hard time with. And it's like, listen, it's like fertility and, trying to go potty with your Spanx on. It's difficult. These things need to be talked about.
Look, if we want to have a podcast, we got to talk about things from A to Z. And do you have to pee? That's all the time we have for this week.
Yes, sirree.
Bye-bye. Setting off the alarms. Ring the alarm.
Calm Down with Erin and Charissa is a production of iHeart Radio.
For more podcasts from iHeart Radio, visit the iHeart Radio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.